Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time it is where you are. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Drawings to Doze Off To for the sleep deprived. And right now, I want you to take a deep breath, lay back, loosen up, just completely untense your body and prepare to be at peace and have sweet dreams. While I start on this drawing for you today, I want to ask you guys this question. How are you celebrating Valentine's Day this year? Who do you plan to be with on Valentine's Day? It could be a romantic partner. It could be a family member. It could be your kids. It could be your best friend. It could even just be yourself. If you plan on taking a self-care / mental health day, instead of going out and doing something romantic with a partner or celebrating with a friend, you could just plan to stay at home and pamper yourself, or even go out and pamper yourself. Maybe go to a spa, go to your favorite restaurant, go see a movie you've been wanting to catch. Or if you're a person who just doesn't celebrate Valentine's Day at all, it's just a regular day for you. But I want to know, how are you guys planning on spending your Valentine's Day? For me, I've never really celebrated Valentine's Day. I've never really had anybody to celebrate with except one time. The other times it would be a regular day for me, and I would get a gift from my stepdad. Every year he would give Valentine's Day gifts to me and my sister. But other than that, I didn't celebrate it at all. Except for one time, a couple of years ago, I was coming home from work, and my boyfriend would meet me at the train so that I didn't have to walk to his apartment by myself at nighttime because I worked nights. And he came to meet me at the train, and as we're walking back and I'm telling him about my day like I always do, I just noticed that he was being really weird. He was very giggly, and he wasn't really paying attention to what I was saying. He was kind of just walking, looking straight ahead with this goofy smile on his face. And I'm just like, why are you so giggly? Why do you keep laughing? Are you high? Like, why are you being so silly? And he wouldn't answer me. He would just laugh again. And I had no idea. Like, it didn't even cross my mind that he had planned something for Valentine's Day. And this was a couple of days before Valentine's Day, because Valentine's Day was on a weekday that year. So we celebrated the weekend before. But yeah, Valentine's Day was like the furthest thing from my mind at that point. And so we walked into the apartment, and I'm just like, okay, I don't know what's wrong with this man. I'ma just leave it alone. But I walk into his room to put my stuff down like I always do. And when I walk in, there's this huge teddy bear on the bed and this bag with all this stuff in it and some other things. And I just stopped dead in my tracks and I just stare at it for a second and like gasp really loudly. And I just turned around and looked at him and he was smiling so hard. You could tell he was really proud of himself. He knew he did good. And before I could even say anything, I just like fell on the bed and burst into tears. I don't know what came over me. I was just so surprised and so appreciative because that was the first time that like a boyfriend or a boo or anything like that had ever done something nice for me. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, it's like crying all these tears of joy. And I was just like, oh my God. Nobody has ever done anything like this for me before. And yeah, it was good. I was very happy and he got me really thoughtful gifts. It wasn't just like, you know, some candy and roses or anything like that. They were very specific gifts, and he told me that he was out all day that day shopping and trying to find special things for me. So that was a good V-Day. And he took me to meet Javi Baez, the baseball player, that weekend. And then we also celebrated at this bar where they were having like musical performances, spoken word, and some games for couples to play together. So that was the best Valentine's Day for me. I haven't really celebrated since then. But this year I'm going to be celebrating with my best friend. So this year should be a good one too. Anyway, let's get into this drawing. So today, as you can probably tell by now, I am working on a portrait of Michael Jackson, the one and only. And this portrait is something I wanted to do to add to my Valentine's Day collection. If you look at my website, I have a filter for Valentine's Day, and when you click on it, you can see all of my love-themed pieces, all of my pieces from my old Valentine's Day series when I would draw portraits of influential men who had inspired me that year. And that's where you can find those portraits of Nipsey Hussle, Derrick Rose, Jay Park, Riz Ahmed, Mac Miller, and so on and so on. And any of my NSFW work would also be in the Valentine's Day filter. And just so you guys know, all of my V-Day artwork is 25% off all throughout February. So you definitely want to take advantage of that because my print prices have gone up. So 25% off is a good deal. And that counts not just for my prints, but also for my original pieces and my stickers and my sticker packs. So I just want to put that out there. But anywho, yeah, so I'm I'm drawing a portrait of Michael Jackson. It is inspired by this really gorgeous photo of him. If you're a fan, I'm sure you've seen it before. I actually wanted to get this photo put on my birthday cake one year when I was in high school, but I couldn't print it out. I ended up using another photo of him, and I had his face on my birthday cake. But this photo is Michael from the Bad era. So it was late 80s Michael Jackson, and he was wearing this white suit. He always looks so good in white suits. He had a white bow tie on. He had a red rose clipped to his suit jacket, and obviously his hair was super long and curly and beautiful, and it's just a really gorgeous photo of him. I knew that I wanted to use it for a piece. So that is the photo I drew of his face. And to add more of a Valentine's Day theme to it, I threw in some candy heart suckers, a little Valentine's Day greeting card, and of course it says "Baby Be Mine," which is a song by Michael Jackson. If you've never heard it, you should definitely go listen to it after you finish watching this episode. It is from the Thriller album. It's a really good song. And I also have some little wrapped chocolates, little wrapped heart-shaped chocolates below his bow tie. And if you look closely, you can see that the greeting card is signed Michael Jackson. So I've just finished his eyes, and I wanted to comment on Michael's features because I have drawn him a million times, and I feel like I've never really quite gotten it right. Obviously you can tell that it's him in my drawings, but I'm never fully satisfied with any of the portraits that I ever do of him. I kind of just grow to accept them, but I'm never fully satisfied, and I just keep trying and keep doing it again and again, and I'm gonna keep doing it until I finally get it right. But the reason I love drawing him so much and I never get tired of it is because of how defined his features are. Like, his nose is one of my favorite things to draw because of the definition, and his eyes are so big and beautiful and bright that they look gorgeous in every photo. And yeah, I never get bored with the drawing his eyes and his nose. Sometimes I just sit and sketch and I don't even draw the rest of his face. I just draw the eyes and the nose and the eyebrows, just to practice. But yeah, this photo was no different. I had so much fun doing it, and I actually felt like I messed up the nose a bit. Not the shape, I think the shape is perfect, but I feel like I made his nose a little too high on the left side. And later on in the video, you'll see me go back and try to fix it, and I make his nose a little bigger. But I still don't think that I got it right, but it's fine. I think it came out pretty good regardless. I would say out of all of my Michael Jackson portraits, including the pastel ones and the graphite and charcoal ones, this one was probably the most accurate and the best looking one. But maybe I'll let you guys be the judge of that. Maybe I'll do a poll one day and just show all my Michael Jackson drawings, and you guys can decide which one you think is best. I think part of the reason that I find it so difficult to draw him accurately is because Michael is someone who is very important to me. And whenever I draw him, I just feel like I cannot mess this up. This has to be everything because he means a lot to me. I really feel the pressure whenever I start a Michael piece. And it's weird because you would think it would be the opposite result. Like I would draw him perfectly every time because I know his face like the back of my hand, literally. I've been a Michael Jackson stan since 2007, and I've looked at this man's face more than I've looked at my own face, probably. And I can envision the shape of his eyes and his nose and lips and his cheekbones and his chin and his hair in my head without even having to look at him. So you think I would get it perfectly, but I think that pressure from really wanting to make him look his best is what's making me like kind of be so hard on myself and overdoing it a little bit. But I feel like I get closer and closer every time to doing a really amazing portrait of him. It was actually really difficult to try to fix the mistakes that I made in this. And that's why I went into this really afraid, because I know that I make a lot of mistakes and that I didn't want to make mistakes with him. So I was telling myself, maybe you shouldn't do Michael's portrait in color pencil. Maybe you should do it in pastel, because with pastel, yes, if you lay down 100 layers, it's like unfixable at that point. But for the most part, when you make a mistake, you can just cover it up. so easily. And with color pencil, you can't do that. Like, you can't erase color pencil. And they when you're using color pencil on paper, so you can't put down as many layers as you can with pastel. So it's like, once you cover up something one time, maybe twice, you can't fix it any further. I just feel like with color pencil, you only get so many chances. And so I was like super nervous about doing it in color pencil, but it worked out a lot better than I expected. I feel like somebody should challenge me to draw a face without using the color purple. If nobody challenges me, I'll just challenge myself, because I always kind of like talk about myself as I'm drawing, because I really cannot draw a face in color pencil on tone tan paper without throwing some purple in there. I draw black people all the time, and I don't think I have ever drawn a brown face. It's just pinks and purples and oranges, and I don't know why. I really don't know why. I feel like when I really look closely at skin tones in photos, I see so many different colors, and I just kind of highlight those and bring them to light instead of just making faces brown as they appear. But I'm gonna challenge myself to draw a brown face. I just finished a painting in pastel of a brown skin woman. It's the darkest skin tone that I've done so far in pastel, and it is so beautiful. The skin and the colors and the vibrant kind of feel that it has to it. I really think it's the prettiest skin I've ever done. And I don't know why it's taken me so well. I do know why. It's because I reference my own face for most of my female portraits, and I have light skin, so naturally they all have light skin. But I did the same thing with this painting, and I just made it darker. So now I want to try for the darkest skin tone I can possibly do. Actually, now that I think about it, the the one pastel painting that I have of Michael, I painted a photo from Thriller when he was he was pretty dark skinned in that photo. He was a nice, even chocolate color. So actually, I have done that skin tone before, but I don't think I had mastered it at that point. It looked a lot better on the painting that I recently finished. But I do plan on doing some more drawings and paintings of him from the Thriller era, because that is my favorite era. Honestly, I can't choose between Thriller and Bad, so I shouldn't say that. But because he was so gorgeous. in both those eras. I don't know which one was better, but I do have a special place in my heart for the thriller era. I feel like after I shaded in the hair and the outline of his face was more visible, I felt like it began to look more like him. And if I could change anything, I would have just made the jaw on the right side of the photo a lot smaller, brought the hair in more, because I felt like I made his jaw just a little too wide. And that's what kind of made it look off to me. Because I'm like, it looks like Michael, but it doesn't quite look like him. It kind of looks more like somebody cosplaying as him or impersonating him. Like they have most of the features down pat, but there's that one thing that stands out where you can tell it's not really Michael. I don't know. Just a reminder that this is a Valentine's Day portrait, and it does fall under my Valentine's Day sale for the month of February, and it is currently 25% off in my shop, and I will link you in the description box below if you're interested in purchasing Michael. I only have the original available. I didn't make prints of this piece, so if you want it, you better go get it. I had a lot of fun with this little heart here because, I don't know, I really get a kick out of shading in really shiny things. And this was a chocolate that was covered in this silver wrapping paper with the light shining off of it. And I kind of just filled in the white shiny part first and shaded the gray in around it, and then I go back in with my gel pen and put a few dots in there to show the shine kind of fading away. And the same thing with the candy suckers. I actually found a new method while I was working on this drawing. I found a way to get my gel pen to work again when I would use it on a ton of color pencil, and it would kind of go dry on me and not actually put down any gel anymore. Now I know all I have to do is dip it in some water and it works instantly. So that's a tip for anybody out there who does color pencil drawings and likes to use their white gel pen to highlight shiny things. Well, guys, that's about it for this episode of Drawings to Doze Off To. Remember, if you would like to purchase this drawing of Michael Jackson, it is available in my shop, currently 25% off until the month of February when you use code LOVINGYOU at checkout. Loving You is also a Michael Jackson song that I encourage everyone to go listen to. It's a very upbeat, happy love song. Perfect song to listen to first thing in the morning to get your day started. I hope you guys love the drawing, and I hope you enjoyed this episode and that you all have a wonderful Valentine's Day and you spend it with people that you love and people that love you. Until the next episode, good night and have sweet dreams.